Welcome to The Explainer. So let's talk about South Korea, one of the most technologically advanced nations on the planet. But what happens when its laws are totally stuck in the past? Just imagine typing out your will on your computer, making sure everything is perfect, only to have a court say it's completely worthless. And that's the pretty shocking reality we're going to dive into today.
And no, this isn't some made-up scenario. This is a real, heartbreaking story that perfectly captures this huge clash between our modern digital lives and laws that feel like they're frozen in time.
Yeah, it's a huge contradiction, right? I mean, South Korea is a global leader in IT, but when it comes to something as basic as a will, the laws are still based on what was possible in the 1950s. So let's break down how this is even possible.
And to really get the human side of this, the human cost, we have to start with the story of a woman named Oh Jong-suk. Her experience, well, it says it all.
So here's what happened with Miss O. She wanted to do right by her daughter, the one who cared for her at the end of her life, by leaving her the apartment. To make sure her wishes were perfectly clear, she learned how to use a computer and typed it all out. But in this just tragic turn of events, the court threw it out for one reason. It was typed. That's it. And that decision kicked off a painful lawsuit within her own family. The very tool she used for clarity ended up silencing her completely.
So why? What's the legal reason a court would do this? Well, it all comes down to a specific and very, very old law.
And here it is, 1958. That's the year the law about handwritten wills was put into South Korea's civil code. I mean, just think about that for a second. That's pre-internet, pre-PC, pre-everything we use today.
And that's the real kicker here. While the whole world has gone through this massive technological revolution, this law has just been stuck. Not a single update to reflect, the 21st century.
In Korea, the most common and accessible type of will is called a holographic will. It's just a legal term that means it has to be written entirely by hand, from start to finish. The idea was to stop forgeries, but the rules are incredibly strict. And when I say strict, I mean really strict.
I mean, look at this. There's just no wiggle room at all. It's completely all or nothing. If you handwrite 99% of it, but then type out a complicated list of your property just to make it clear and easy to read, too bad. The entire will can be declared invalid.
And Ms. O's story? It's not a fluke. Get this. The case of Kim Duk-gu. He did the hard part. He wrote out the main body of the will by hand. But he had 21 different financial and real estate assets. That's a lot to write without making a mistake. So he typed up that list and attached it. And the court's reason for invalidating it? It's just unbelievable. They said, because that typed list was a core part, the whole thing was worthless. His wishes totally ignored.
And this isn't some small niche issue. The stakes are huge. We're talking about an estimated 4,600 trillion won held by South Koreans over 60. That's over $3 trillion US. This massive transfer of wealth is happening right now, and the system for managing it is decades out of date.
Okay, and you might think I'll just follow the old rules perfectly. But get this, it's not even that simple. Even if you manage to create a flawless 100% handwritten will, your final wishes can still be put on ice. Literally one person in the family can object and boom, the whole thing is stalled and you're headed for another family lawsuit.
So you gotta wonder, is Korea the only country dealing with this? Let's take a look at how other places are handling it. And wow, the difference is night and day.
I mean, this table really tells the story, doesn't it? South Korea is stuck on handwritten only, while other major countries are leaping into the future, embracing technology to make this whole process safer and way more accessible for their citizens. Let's look at Japan, a country that, famously loves its paper and official seals. Even they are making this huge digital jump. Their government has okayed a bill that allows for wills made on a computer or even a smartphone. They can be stored in the cloud, and they've added modern security, like having to read it to an official on video. And over in the US, it's a whole different world. Technology has created this new industry they're calling death tech. In many states, you can create a totally electronic will, have witnesses joined by webcam, and use online platforms that make the whole thing as easy as filling out a form. They're just making it so much easier for regular people to get this done. Okay, so with this super strict system in place, what are you supposed to do in Korea right now? And what are the experts saying needs to change? Right now, there's pretty much only one safe option: getting your will notarized. It involves a notary, 2 witnesses, and it means the court doesn't have to review it later. The catch? It's complicated, and it can cost a ton of money. We're talking thousands of dollars, which puts it out of reach for a lot of people.
And that's the real trap here. The handwritten way is a legal minefield.
And the notarized way is too expensive. So what happens? A huge number of people are just left in a legal limbo with no good way to make a valid will. And this lawyer, So-Sun Moo, he really hits the nail on the head. He says the goal here isn't just about making things more convenient. It's about preventing the exact kind of family fights that the current system actually seems to cause.
So what's the fix? Well, legal experts have some really common sense ideas. First, just legalize digital wills. It's time. Second, allow for simple things like attaching a typed property list. That one change would have saved Mr. Kim's will. And third, create a secure public system where people can store and verify their wills, kind of like what Japan is doing, to stop fights before they even begin.
Yeah, when you boil it all down, it's really simple, isn't it? The whole point of the law should be to honor what someone wanted, not to create little technical traps that let those wishes be ignored.
So, we've walked through the heartbreaking stories, the ancient law, and how other places are moving forward. It all comes down to one big question. Think about it. We trust our phones and computers with literally everything, our banking, our contracts, you name it. So the real question is, when are South Korea's laws going to finally catch up to the digital world that all its citizens are already living in?